Hey, my name's Izzy. It's Rolling Virtual Cards coming at you with another Commander Top 20. This time, 8 drops. Let's get into it right away. So Top of Primal Dawn is 6-2 white, and it's one of the reasons why I like to talk about the Top 20. This is not a great card, but it is a good card in certain decks. So let's talk about it. 6-2 white for a 4/8 legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur, flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. As a commander, this is kind of fun. Okay, 4/8 double striker. There's 2 ways you can build this as a commander. You can either try to get to 11, so you can just one-shot people, just meaning you have to get it to 7. You don't have to worry about it protecting it because it's got the indestructible. Maybe hexproof can be okay, but it already has the evasion. It's got the protection. You just have to worry, and it's got the double strike. So you don't got to run that stuff. You just run equipment and auras to buff its power by 7. So you're one-hitting people. That's the whole point of the deck. It's great. The other way is to use this double strike differently as kind of like a card advantage to try to find other cards, which is good, but I like just one-shotting people with the giant dinosaur. It's fun. So, that being said, a lot of the decks, a lot of the points this card gets is from its own deck as a legendary. The other huge amount is the amount of times this guy's been printed. I don't normally pull it up, but it's been printed a lot. And on a lot of commander decks. It's just kind of a big 8-drop that does a lot of things. It's keyword soup, so a lot of keyword soup decks work with it, and there are a few keyword soup decks that people like. It's also a dinosaur, so it works in a lot of dinosaur decks, and the very few people who really like elder decks, it fits in your elder deck. And aside from that, if you're running like an equipment deck, it's not awful to drop him and just put some equipment on. Or if you're running like a blue deck, like a blue-white deck that like runs a lot of the whenever a creature deals damage, draw cards, which could also be in green. So Topo double triggers those two for some card advantage. And it's hard to remove, so there's a lot of upside to Zaltapa, but it's 20 for a reason. It's not great. It's not winning you the game. It's just kind of a big scary monster. That's hard to remove, but like you need to have setup for it to actually do something scary. Next up at number 19 is the Skull Spore Nexus. This is a newer card, and I love that. 6-2 green for a legendary artifact. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So you could cast this for 2 green. Pretty good. When one or more non-token creatures you control die, create a green fungus dinosaur creature token with base power and toughness equal to the total power of those creatures. Pay 2, tap, double target power, creature's power until it turns. This does so much. Number 1, it's getting points because you can drop it for 2 green. Really good. Number 2, it cares about power. So in any high power deck or power matters decks, the Skull Spore Nexus is great. Number 3, it does help against board wipes. Someone board wipes while you have the Skull Spore Nexus, you're not out of the game. Even if you just got like 10 1/1s and your commander that's like a 3/3 or 3 power, 3x, that's like 13. So you get a 13/13 that you can double the power up next turn with the Skull Spore Nexus. And all of a sudden, oh look, now I've got a 26/26. That's kind of scary. So it's a lot of protection there. It makes people go, crap, my board wipe won't actually stop them. I got to get rid of the Skull Spore Nexus first, which is great. And also, it doesn't trigger once a turn. When one or more non-token, okay, actually, it doesn't work with non-tokens, but like a lot of your hate bears, it protects your hate bears and your other like monodorks. Really makes them go, I can't board wipe. He'll just get a big guy, right? Which is pretty good. And the cool thing is, with base power and toughness are each equal to the total power of those creatures, you can, in response to the board wipe, double your biggest guy up, and that'll give you an even bigger guy. So, pretty good. And that's why it's at number 18, or 19. I think it'll go up. It's a newer card that's only been out for, I think, like less than a year. Maybe a little over a year. But it's very strong, and it's a very good contender for just a high power 8-drop. So I highly suggest trying it out if I was you. Up next is number 17 is, or 18 is Archaon of Cruelty. Such a good card. 6-2 black for an 6/6 Archaon. Flying. When Archaon of Cruelty enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life. So much. This is great in ETB decks. This is a great card to recur. It's 6/6 with flying, does so much. It might be 8, but that 1 extra mana, this card's so much better than a lot of the 7 drops you're looking at, okay? This just does a lot. And there's a reason it's in Modern Horizons, or it's a Modern Horizons 2 card, right? It just does a lot for so little. And being able to recur it every single turn, just be like, yeah, that opponent's winning. No one target my guy, I'll just hit him next turn, guys. Try to help me with that. And then you attack and go, you sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, discard a card, you lose 3 life, I'm going to draw a card and gain 3 life. So it does so much, but it doesn't win you the game. And in Commander, it only targets 1. If it was all opponents, it'd be better. So that's why it's stuck at 18. At 17, we have Ancient Silver Dragon. 6 and 2 blue for an 8/8 Elder Dragon with flying, and whenever Ancient Silver Dragon deals combat damage to your player, roll a d20. Draw cards equal to the result. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. The maximum hand size is so good. And yeah, you could draw 20 cards. You could draw 1 card, but that doesn't matter. You could draw 20 cards. Odds say you could draw anywhere between 1 and 20. It's 1 in 20 chance of getting anything. There's no odds in your favor, to be fair. But that's just good enough to win, or to be good, okay? Like, yes, you might get a 1, but you have an equal chance to get a 20 or a 10 or a 15 or a 2. And as long as you're hitting, you're going to draw more cards. And it's just drawing you cards. And the one time you do it, you have no maximum hand size. So you could just draw enough cards the following turn and win the game. But, again, it's down here at number 17 because it doesn't win you the game. And it's still random. And, like, it doesn't do anything on ETB. So you kind of sit there and go, like, okay, like, I think its ceiling is greater than Archeon, but, like, it doesn't do anything. So, like, someone could remove it and then you'd be sad. But, like, in a dragon deck, it's up here, which is why dragons are high. Because people like dragons, and people like elders. So, next up at 16 is Utvara Hellkite. 6 and 2 red for a 6/6 dragon with flying. And whenever a dragon you control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature with flying, token creature with flying. This is good because people like dragons. It's at number 16 because people like dragons. Dragons are good. It's great in that regard. By itself, it's not bad. Like getting an 8/8 that attacks the next turn, you get a dragon. But here's the thing. In a dragon deck, you get your Utvara Hellkite out, and then you swing with 2 or 3 dragons and get 2 or 3 6/6 red dragon creature tokens. That's why it's good. Don't play this outside of a dragon deck. You run into a lot of those issues where like you just can't do a lot. You're like, I like my Utvara. I mean, unless you're running a haste deck, like a haste enabling deck, and then Utvara can attack and get you another 6/6, which is pretty good. So, not awful, not great. It's kind of like right in the middle there, guys. Up next at 15 is Moonshaker Cavalier. 5 and 3 blue, 3 white for a 6/6 Spirit Knight. Flying. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get plus X into a turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. This is a win con. Yes. Okay. So, creatures you control gain flying, get plus X into control. He can't attack the turn it comes out, which sucks, unless you have a way to give haste, obviously. But what this does is it says, yo, I've got like 20, 30 creatures out, whether or not they're tokens or other things. Let's drop this big 8-drop creature. It hits the field, bada boom, bada bang. All my creatures are going to get plus 20, plus 20. Let's go in for the game. And they gain flying. That's the part. If it was just power, it wouldn't be worth it, the bump. But the fact that they gain evasion too, that's going to win you the game. Tokens especially. So this card's great in tokens, which we already know gives a lot of points. It's great in low to the ground creature decks, which also gives a lot of points. It's great in spirit and night decks as well, because Flavorfully wins, and those decks are low to the ground and wide. So does a lot of things, is a win con for 8, and that's just kind of why it's good. Also, it's a creature win con, which is really good because harder to counter. Creatures are the hardest thing to counter because a lot of times it's like non-creature spells. So that's what brings it to 15. I think that's 15. Let me double check. I was correct. 14, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This card, I think, has dropped a bit, but 8 generic for a 7 loyalty Ugin. Plus 2, Ugin the Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to any target. Minus X, exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay? So, its +2 isn't bad. Dealing 3 damage to any target is fine. That's just good removal. Okay? Its -X can really screw up a bunch of decks. Very good in colorless decks, where Ugin the Spirit Dragon is always seen, and artifact decks, where Ugin the Spirit Dragon can totally be used. Also, it does it for permanents with converted monocost extra less that's 1 more color. Yeah, so it really screws with colored cards. It's just a good board wipe. Doesn't touch itself, too. And -10 is usually a game winner, which is why it's good to just +2 it. You only -X if you have to, but if you can +2 it, and the cool thing is it's 2/4, which brings you to 11, so you don't lose Ugin when you -10. You keep him. He might be 1 and will probably die, but you do keep him, which is fun. He's banned from Brawl, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Ugin the Spirit Dragon is a great card. I think it's really fun to use, and it's just, yeah, I like it. I like Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and I think it's a great card. I don't think you get sad by using it. No matter what, you're getting like a decent number 14. Number 13, End-Raze Forerunners. This is 5 and 3 generic, or 5 generic and 3 green for a 7/7 boar. Vigilance, Trample, Haste, and when it enters the battlefield, each other creature you control get +2/+2, and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. This is doing that same thing that the Cavalier is doing, but for green. And green likes it better, because green's already big. You're already tall, usually you got like 5/5s, a bunch of 5/5s, now they're all a bunch of 7/7s with Trample and Vigilance. So they can still block next turn, and it can still attack as a 7/7 Vigilance, Trample, Haste. So that's pretty good. So it's not the end of the world to get the End-Raze Forerunners here. Also, flickering decks that can flicker this card a few times is also pretty good. Same thing with the other one, because they're going to get like +2/+2, then +4/+4, which is pretty good. But this one can attack at the same time. But the other one gives flying. The other one's also a lot newer. So give it a chance. That one might go up higher. But green is more popular than white, so who knows? That's number 13. Number 12 is Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. This is 5 and 3 green for a 12/12 legendary creature Elder Dinosaur with Trample. When Ghalta Stampede Tyrant enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. This is just a great win con, guys. I mean, imagine dropping the End-Raze Forerunners, guys. Like, now all those creatures get bigger. As long as you have a way to give all the things you're dropping in haste, Ghalta can just win you the game. It's also a great commander, where a lot of its points coming from, making it number 12, because it really just does what Ghalta needed to do. Ghalta's a great, like, the original Ghalta was a great just punch people hard, but this Ghalta is like, okay, it takes a little bit more to get it out, but it does a lot when it hits the field. Just like, here's all my cards, you know? So overall, I think it's a good commander and probably a really good ender, as long, again, you have a way to give haste. Or, like, one of the creatures you drop gives haste. Like, all creatures you control haste when you ETB or something. Lots of things you can do with this card. Number 11 is Decree of Pain. 6 and 2 black for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Cycling, 3 and 2 black. You can cycle, discard a card, discard this card, draw a card. When you cycle Decree of Pain, all creatures get -2/-2 until turn. So, normally this would be, okay, cool, destroy creatures. They can't be regenerated, and you draw a card for each card destroyed this way. So that's actually pretty good. For 8 mana, just being able to go, oh, let's just clear the field. Someone has a lot of tokens and stuff. Let's just draw like a bunch of cards, and usually win the game next turn with that, off of that, which is pretty good. On the other hand, you can cycle it for 5, which costs a lot less than 8, and they can't counter it very easily, if at all. And that's going to allow you to just go, okay, cool, and now we just get rid of all the small guys. So that's a great way to just get rid of a lot of tokens and small boys without having to worry about it. And then, like, the higher level, you're going to draw a lot of cards and hopefully win off of that. So, number 11 is Urza's, I think this is 10. Kicking off the top 10 is Urza's Predation. 5 and 3 green for sorcery. For each creature your opponents control, create a 4/4 green Phyrexian Beast creature token. Each of those tokens fights a different one of those creatures. So this is like kind of a win con. If your opponent's running a lot of creatures, like a token deck or something, which are very popular, and again, low to the ground elf decks are very popular, Urza's Predation just goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna make like 10 or 11 of these guys, and just they're all going to hit your guys. And you're going to lose all your creatures, and I'm going to get a bunch of 4/4s. And next turn, and then I'm going to swing at you with them all. Great way to win. But I don't like that it's this high because it really relies on your opponents to be running a lot of creatures. And that could not happen. This could be a dud 8-drop in your deck if your opponents just decide we're not going to be playing a lot of cards, a lot of creatures. Then you're just like, oh man, let's just ditch this card. But you don't have a way to get rid of it. So a lot of downside there. But there's a lot of ways to get around that and kind of abuse it if possible. Next up is number 9, Terastodon. I like Terastodon. I think it's a fun card. 6 and 2 green for a 9/9 elephant, and when it enters the battlefield, you may destroy up to 1 target non-creature permanent for up to 3 target non-creature permanents. For each permanent put in the grave of this way, its controller gets a 3/3 green elephant creature token. This is just a really good removal spell on a 9/9. So for 8 mana, you get rid of the 3 most problematic cards, non-creature cards, of course, which has come to bite me in the past, but also flickering stuff to just kind of keep popping everything. And sure, they get 3/3 elephants, but that's not going to do much. So you can kind of flicker this guy and get a lot out of it in the right decks. And in that case, I think Terastodon does pretty decent, commander-wise and stuff. I think it, or not commander-wise, but in decks. I think it's a pretty decent, like, big drop-off, and if you can cheat it out, it's going to do more. And again, it's a 9/9, so, like, it does something. This is the card I said was better than, way better than Meteor Golem, even though Meteor Golem doesn't get them 3/3s. I've never lost to get the elephants, by the way, so don't worry about that. That's number 9. Number 8 is Vanquish the Horde. For 6 and 2 white, you get a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. This is fair. This is fine. This is like white's version of Blasphemous Act. This can just cost, it doesn't go down to 1, but it can cost 2 white to just destroy all creatures. Which is good. 2 white to destroy all creatures. And this is a newer card. This is from Innistrad Midnight Hunts. So I think it is. Is that the original printing? Yeah, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. That's pretty cool. And so that just like really shows you that like, yeah, people like board wipes, and 2-drop board wipes are better. So I think it's really good. I think it's useful in a lot of ways to just be able to go, no more creatures, let's start over. So that's why it's number 8. Number 7 is Vilas, Broker of Blood. 5 and 3 black for an 8/8 demon with flying. Pay a black, pay 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. Now, Vilas, Broker of Blood is a very popular casual commander as far as mono black 8-drop casual commanders go. It's a demon, which is liked, so it's good in demon decks, or in like one of the most popular decks out there is I just did the thing on it. It's wait back. It's Kaalia. Kaalia is one of the most popular commanders out there, and Vilas is always in that deck. So it's interesting. It's also in a lot of CEDH decks, or at least like one CEDH deck, one mono black CEDH deck, with I forget his name, the son of the bad guy. Wow, you guys should know who I'm talking about. I don't remember his name right now. Son of Yawgmoth. I don't remember his name though. Anyway. But this just does a lot for you for 8 mana. Being able to hit him on the field, if it's not countered, if they go to destroy it, you can trigger its effect, allowing you to draw cards. So you can pay a black as many times as you want, it pays 2 life as many times as you want, draw so many cards each time you do it, or 2 cards each time you do it, and wipe the field. Pretty good. It does a lot. And a lot of people cheat him out just to get a lot of card draw out of it. And if you're in a deck that loses a lot of life and gains a lot of life and stuff, Vilas is going to be your man. He's going to do a lot for you. So he's up here at number 7 for a lot of reasons. It just does a lot of stuff. It's a good typing. It has good evasion. And it's a pretty decent commander. So number 6 is Last March of the Imps. 6 and 2 green for a sorcery. This spell can't be countered, which again is great. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness of creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards on the battlefield from your hand on the battlefield. This card does so much. And it's so good in very specific decks. where you're just like, oh, cool, my guy's at 12-12. Draw 12 cards, drop like 6 creatures on the field, I win the game. Okay? So this does a lot for just helping you find a win con and going, I win. So as long as your deck is running a big creature, Last March of the Ants is good. And by big creature, I mean its butt needs to be 5 or bigger to make Last March of the Ants probably worth it. But making it uncounterable makes it harder to stop you. You're dropping the creatures on the field, which is hard. And as long as you hit the right creatures, you could just win the game, which is pretty crazy. So that's the reason why this is number 6. Number 5 is Avacyn, Angel of Hope. This is 5 and 3 white for an 8/8 angel with flying, vigilance, and indestructible. Other permanents you control have indestructible. This card's annoying. I mean, like, it's indestructible and all your other opponents are indestructible. So as long as you get, like, hexproof with boots, you can't really target it. You have to have, like, a mass exile, which is why mass exiles are favored in casual, because, like, not only do they do the normal job, but they also get rid of stuff like Avacyn, which is problematic if you run into it. But, like, yeah, it's 8 mana. As a commander, it's a very popular mono white commander, just kind of like a good stuff commander that you can drop and go, oh, look, everything's indestructible, and I can knock people out in 2 hits, or 3 hits. And if I put double strike on Avacyn, it's 3 hits, or 2 hits to win instead of 3, and just gotta give it +3/+3 to make it easier to knock people out. So a lot of things can go right with Avacyn. Command, or in the 99, yeah, I mean, like, it's just a way to protect your stuff. And then you don't gotta worry about your board wipes and all that stuff. So there's a reason it's at number 5. It's a very popular card. I think it's a little overrated because it doesn't really win you the game, but it does make it hard for you to lose the game. Number 4 is City on Fire. 5 and 3 black, 3 green, 3 red. Wow, I can't read colors. 3 red for an enchantment with Convoke. Your creatures can help you cast a spell. Each creature you tap for casting the spell cost gives you either 1 generic or the monocolor. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent player, it deals double triple that damage to it. So this is only you, but it's so good because you can have all your creatures tap to get City of Flame to go, Fire to go, and this is a win con. Dropping this card so that, like, your commander's ability of, like, oh, whenever I sacrifice a creature, or, like, sacrifice a creature, deal 1 damage to an opponent, cool, now I'm dealing 3. Or like an aristocrat effect, where you can go, okay, cool, let's just start aristocrating. Before I had to hit like 20, or like 21 or something, but now I only have to hit 7 to win. So, like, it does a lot with damage, and it's very good. And the fact that you can cast it for, like, basically free off your creatures is really strong. And, of course, it doesn't have to be non-combat damage. So even token decks like this card, because your tokens can help cast it, and then all your tokens, when they deal damage to a permanent or player, it does triple. So even if someone blocks the 1/1, it's still dealing 3 damage. So might as well be a 3/1, which is pretty scary. So that's why it's at number 4. Number 2 is Dig Through Time. Okay? Dig Through Time. Oh, actually, this is number 3. Number 3 is Dig Through Time. 6 and 2 blue for an instant. Delve. Each card you exile from your graveyard, casting the spell is pays for 1. So you can, 1 generic. So you can cast this for 2 if you fill your graveyard. Look at the top 7 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand, the rest of the bottom of the library in any order. This card's restricted in Vintage, banned in Modern, and Legacy. Why? Because it's a good card. It's just very useful and really helps you dig. Is it as good as everyone thinks it is? I think in the proper deck, Dig Through Time is great. I think in a deck where you're just trying to dig and get more answers, Dig Through Time can be very good. It still can't be played early usually unless your deck is specifically a self-mill deck. But outside of that, like, yeah, if you're casting a lot of instants and sorceries and stuff, like in a spell-slinging deck, which are very popular, Dig Through Time will eventually just be able to exile those guys pretty simply and go, oh yeah, let's just look at the top 7, give me 2 cards that can probably do a lot for me. So Dig Through Time, really strong card. Number 2 is Treasure Cruise. Better than Dig Through Time. Why? Because it draws you 3 cards. And it can be done for 1. So 7 generic in a blue, delve so you can exile up to 7 cards to make it cheaper, and draw 3 cards. That's all this is draw 3 cards. Technically speaking, with both of those, if you can cheat them or copy them in some way, you're getting a lot out of it. And that's the thing about Treasure Cruise. Again, ban in Modern, Legacy, and Pauper, mind you. And then Restricted and Vintage. Both cards are very strong in a lot of formats. Never been, or isn't standard, neither of them standard legal. I don't think it ever will be standard. Delve is broken mechanic. Because of how easy it is to fill your graveyard. But being able to draw 3 cards for 1 blue is insane. Okay? And then being able to cast it again from your graveyard to do so is also insane. Okay? A lot of things just make this card really strong. And drawing cards is good. And again, if you can just copy this, that's even better. Lastly, Craterhoof Behemoth. Okay? So, as you've seen, we've got a lot of card advantage in these cards. And like a win con with City Empire. And Avacyn Hopes is like a don't lose con. And Last March of the Ints is like, yeah, this could win me the game. And Violence is like, yeah, this is good card advantage. And Vagrants of the Horde is like, yeah, don't lose the game. And Terastodon's like, don't lose the game. There's like a lot of don't lose the games at 8. Craterhoof Behemoth is like the I win the game. It is legal in everything that's not Pauper or Penny, okay? It's legal in standard right now. Craterhoof Behemoth is 5 and 3 green for a 5/5 beast with haste. When this creature enters, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. This is a win con. This is like the green win con. You've got 20 creatures on the field, cast Craterhoof, they all get +20/+20, including itself. And now you're swinging with the 25/25 and all your other creatures, okay? And if you can blink it, that's even grosser, okay? Now, there are some other cards that give other effects, but just the equal to the number of creatures, that works with tokens, that works with elves, that works with go wide strategies, it works with enchantresses. All of a sudden, your enchantresses are big. It does so much, because you don't have to care about their power and toughness, you just want a lot of them. And that's why it's number 1. A lot of people hate it and think this is gross, you just create a for win. Yes, it's a good, I end the game with this win, okay? I think it deserves to be number 1 here because I think it does the right job of just being like, it's the card you're looking for with Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time, combining with City on Fire sounds hilarious. You're digging for it to drop with Last March of the Ints. So, with all that being said, yeah, I think Craterhoof Behemoth deserves to be number 1. And this video is looking to be half as long as the last one, because I just didn't have a lot to talk about the 8s. The 8s all seem pretty fair. I mean, like, if I wanted to grab on something, maybe Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise are a little up high under the Delve mechanic being, like, they're not, like, okay, late game, it's cool, because you can, serious thing, late game, even if you're not Delve-based deck, a self-milled Delve deck, right? At least you can just exile a bunch of useless cards from your graveyard if you're not touching your graveyard, and pay 1 to draw 3 cards and still have a bunch of mana to try to win with those 3 cards. And same thing through Dig Through Time. Use 2 of your mana on like turn 10 or turn 7, and then you're like, cool, let me find 2 cards that might help me be able to win the game or get back into the game, okay? Other than that, yeah, Avacyn's probably a little too high, but it is a good white card. Yeah, no, I think the 8s are just a solid list. Okay, there we go. Urza's Predation is the one I dislike. I think it's not good. I think it's just kind of bloated self-worth of just like this concept of like, this card could win me the game if everything works out. And it won't. It'll be a dead card like 9 out of 10 times. Or like at least 5 out of 10 times, which I don't want to run a card that's dead 5 out of 10 times. Craterhoof can be dead like 4 out of 6 times, but like, or 4 out of 10 times, but like, it also wins you the game, whereas the other one doesn't technically win you it just puts you in an advantageous spot. So, but yeah, that's the top 8s. Let me know what your favorite 8 drop is down below. Personally, my favorite is Treasure Cruise. I love Treasure Cruise. I think it's fun. I love that kind of card. I love drawing cards, and I love Delve spell slinging decks. I always have. It's one of my favorite color combinations. So, yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe again, and just let me know what you like for 8 drops down below. Peace.